All right. Welcome, guys and girls, to another math lesson. And this week, we're going to talk about multiplying mixed numbers. Okay. This is really super duper easy, even though it looks really complicated. You're going to see just how easy it is as I get through the problem. I've only done the actual division here for you to see on this first problem and how you break down or simplify a an improper fraction. This is what this is called when the top number is bigger than the bottom number. I'm not a teacher again, I'm a parent. This is not a Common Core sort of routine or variation of this. This is the good old traditional way of learning multiplying mixed numbers. Hope you enjoy this lesson. Here we go. So in this first problem, we have 4 and 9/10 times 2 and 2/5. So we do things a little differently when we multiply mixed numbers. And here's what we do. We multiply 4 times 10. And on these, let me say before I get started in the problem, I'm going to allow my student, which is my child whom I homeschool, to use a calculator to do these problems because there is so much math and there are a lot of big numbers, and so I'm going to allow her to use the calculator to do these problems. Okay, she may not use the calculator when she gets to this portion. She may just write it out and do it herself because that is the most efficient way to end the problem, by doing it written, and writing out your work versus using a calculator. But in all these portions before we get to that point, it may be faster for you to use a calculator. So the first thing that you do here is you multiply the 4 times 10, which is going to give you 40, plus the 9, which is going to give you 49. So you place your 49 there. And then you're going to do the same thing with this mixed number. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 2 equals 12, and so you're going to place your 12 there. And then you're simply going to bring the 10 and the 5 over, which are the denominators from both both of the fraction portions of the mixed numbers. Um, and so the 10 and the 5 go under the 49, and the 5 goes under the 12. Then you're simply going to multiply 49 times 12 equals 588, and 10 times 5 equals 50. Okay, when you get to this point, you want to see if you're able to reduce. A way for you to know if you're able to reduce is to divide both numbers, starting out with simple number 2. Okay, if you can divide both of these numbers by the same number, then you know you can reduce it. And in this case, that number is 2. So when we divide both 588 and 50 by 2 to reduce it, we get 254 and we get 25. So how you do this on the calculator is you type in 588, and then you hit the little division sign. 2 by 2 equals, and then you'd have your 294. And then you do the same thing here on the bottom number, which is the 50. You do 50, and then you hit the division sign, equals, and it'll give you 25. Okay, so once you do that, we can check to see if this will be reduced further, because as a rule of thumb, I'd like you to know that that's what you need to do, is check to see if you can further reduce this problem by any stretch of numbers, whether it be 3, 2, 3, 5, whatever. I want to see, you want to see if you can reduce this number. In this case, you cannot reduce it any further. To check and see if you can reduce it, let's try. Let's divide 294 by 2, and let's also divide the 25 by 2. Well, I know right off the top of my head that the 25 divided by 2 um, is going to give you 12 and a half, which is 12.5 on a calculator. So anytime a number looks like a decimal on a calculator when you try to see if it could be reduced, then that's a rule of thumb in my mind that lets you know that that number cannot be reduced. So when it cannot be reduced, then it is time to divide it like so. okay, so that you can get your final answer, which is here. So when you set it up on a sheet of paper, it's different from a calculator, because in the calculator you put this number in the calculator first and you want to divide it by that number. But on paper, you're going to put this number first and you're going to put this number in the division bracket. So here we do 25 divided by 294, and we get 11 and 11 and 19 over 25, because remember, if you've seen me do this in my previous lessons, I always tell my student to think of an imaginary V there. So this will let you know that that's your first place to go. So you go bam, bam, bam. So 1, 2, 3. So 11 and 19 over 25 is your final answer. Okay, that's it. Nothing else to do to that problem. I know it was a lot of steps, but it's really easy once you get into it. So let's go ahead and work through the rest of these problems. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 gives us 9, and then 4 times 5 plus 4 gives us 24. So 4 times 5 is 20, and then plus 4 gives us 24 over 2 times 5, because we just pulled these two numbers over here, gives us 216 over 10. This can be reduced, and when we reduce it, we get 108 over 5. We're going to do the same thing here, okay? We're going to put our 5 there, our 108 there, and we're going to divide it. And when we divide it, we're going to get an answer using our V technique, or to remember how our final mixed number is going to be set up. Our answer here will be 21 and 3/5. Okay, next problem. 2 times 2 equals 4, plus 1 equals 5, and then 4 times 2 equals 8, plus 1 equals 9. And then we bring our 2 times 2 over, then we multiply. 5 times 9 equals 45, and 2 times 2 equals 4. Can't be reduced any further, so we're going to go ahead and do our division like so, and that's going to give us an answer of 11 and 1/4. Move on to number 4. We got 2 times 5 is 10, plus 2 equals 12. Put our 12 there, and then 4 times 2 equals 8, plus 1 equals, and we put our 9 there, equals 9. And then we'll bring our 5 and our 2 over, and we'll multiply. 12 times 9 equals 108, and then 5 times 2 equals 10. And then you're going to reduce that 108 over 10 to 54/5. And that is going to give you, after you set up a division problem like so, putting your 5 here and your 54 there, you're going to you should come up with an answer of 10 and 4/5. If you do not, it is incorrect. And our last problem, 3 times 3 equals 9. Plus 2 equals 11, and then 2 times 4 equals 8, plus 3 equals another 11. Then we pull our 3 and our 4 over to place under our 11s, and then we multiply. 11 times 11 equals 121, and 3 times 4 equals 12. This number couldn't be reduced any further, and so we do division like so, placing our 12 here and our 121 here, going through the division, and we should come up with an answer of 10 and 1/12. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it made doing multiplying mixed numbers simplified for you.